So here today we have just a regular nice pineapple from the grocery store. And I know there's a lot of people out there who love to grow pineapples at home. Even in northern states, you can certainly grow pineapples if you take them in during the winter. This particular one is one from Costa Rica. It's the golden variety, which is very delicious. Now, most people, when they get this and they want to plant it, they simply take this one top, twist it off or cut it off, and they root it in water, or they even throw it right into a pot or into the ground if you live in a tropical area. Well, that's one way of doing it, but not the best way. Growing a new pineapple from a crown is actually the slowest possible way that you can do it. There's a trick now that I've tried twice and it's worked wonderfully each time. The first time I got 4 baby plants out of this, and the second time I got 5. So I'm going to show you how you can do this very simple trick. So here we are once again with our pineapple from the grocery store. And there's a couple of ways. You can cut the top off, but I always find it's better to simply twist them off. And it's really not that hard. Just get around it and give it a good twist and it comes right off. And that actually is a better way. It causes less injury. And then you can get at cutting up your pineapple after you've twisted off the top. Now for step 2 of our procedure. You see all these little tiny leaves around here. You really want to get rid of them, and you can just tear them off with your fingers, as I'm doing here. And you'll see something very interesting pretty quickly. And that is the root buds of the plant. Even if you don't want to follow this method and just want to plant the crown, this is something you should do anyway, because again, it will root a lot more quickly if you do this. So once you've stripped off these leaves, you'll see here, and I hope it shows up on the camera, these little brown dots, those are the root buds. And that is something that you definitely want to expose, because this will cause this plant to root much more quickly. So now we've come to the crucial step in our process, and that is cutting up this pineapple in 4 pieces, at least this crown. Now you're gonna have to deal with a knife, so if you're not comfortable with a large kitchen knife, I would not attempt this procedure. This is also something that children should not attempt without parental supervision, if at all, because it's just not something that I think is designed for kids. And if you're not comfortable with a big knife, don't attempt this either. I think this is very similar if you've ever cut an artichoke. It's kind of what it reminds me of. And so I usually, the first cut is always the hardest. So I usually try to start and go ahead and you could see start the process of cutting it in half is the first thing. So I just continue that cut down, and then it'll slice very easily once you're at this point. And there is your halved pineapple, and there'll be some extra center pieces here that you can remove safely. They're not going to be a problem for you. So now from here on out, it's pretty easy and straightforward. Again, you can take out these extra center pieces. They're not gonna really do anything for you, or any other loose pieces. So then you take this first half of the pineapple, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're just gonna split it right down like that, and then finish it off on the other side. So each of these pieces is going to become a new plant. And within about 4 to 6 weeks, depending upon where you are in the season, you'll begin to see a little bud probably form on this side. It'll look like a little nub. And that's where your new pineapple plant is going to emerge from. So you have these pieces, and then we'll cut up the last piece here. Again, safely holding it away from you and just making that first cut downward. And once again, through the upper part of the plant. And that's it. So now you have 4 lovely pieces to plant. And like I said, each one of these will form a baby plant. So here we are at the final step of our process. Now I just take a rather large, must be a 7 or 9 inch pot, and I put in some nice potting soil to start them in. And I just poke them in on the sides of the pot. So each one will be poked in at a 1/4 point in the pot, such as this. I just stick them right in the soil. I don't root them first in water. Of course, I live in Florida, so that is a little bit of an advantage. And from here in, this is gonna go outside in the garden, and I just kind of watch it, make sure it doesn't dry out too much. It happens to be raining right now, so I'm gonna put it out right now. And that's it. And so we'll keep track of this one, see how it's doing when the buds form. Well, here we are in the baby pineapple garden, and you can see the one I just potted up in the green pot is already getting its first raindrops. These other ones I started one set in May and one set in June, and you can see how large they are already. So good luck with your pineapple farm.